Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back with another recording of Hearthstone. So, we're not getting anywhere very fast. We need to get victories with the Druid or Rogue. Let's see, we'll play this Rogue, we're playing on casual, we're trying to do everything in our power to make this easier and a quicker experience. We don't have a ton of news, so I imagine I'll finish up in this recording and then just go to post play. I started late on this Monday, March 12th. That's what day it is, by the way. Started probably 2 hours late, so that's not helpful either with the time. I'm running into some games that somehow I'm still missing. They came to Steam, and so my system of watching what's on Steam's 6-minute video stream doesn't seem like it's gonna work, because I suspect what's happening here is some games simply don't have a video, so they don't get announced, and that's not particularly the best way to filter. To just ignore all games that don't have a video on their Steam page. That doesn't filter in a fair way, and so I'm gonna have to switch it out and look at everything if I do actually want to look at all games. So there's a game called Earthlock that came out on March 8th. It has no reviews. It looks like an RPG game. It's RPGs at this point kind of need to have support by a big company to catch my attention. This one is by a company called Snowcastle Games that has made a game called Made in Norway, which they're charging a massive $111 usually for. And let's see, Earthlock Collector's Edition is $12.77, so you wouldn't even want to buy the main edition. It says it's a E10 plus game. I don't know if it really was been rated. There's nothing really wrong with what this game looks like. It looks fine. Maybe it was a mobile port. But there's nothing really great also, and so I don't know how you can justify well, let's just leave everything as it is, I suppose, and let this guy kill everybody. Wow, I didn't realize that was going to happen that way. There are no negative reviews right now for Earthlock, but there's only 7 reviews. I couldn't imagine playing a game like this when you could go play Torchlight, which I have Torchlight 1 and 2, and I know Torchlight is more of a Diablo-esque style game than a RPG. But then also, if you're going to play an RPG that's cutesy and kid-friendly, I don't know why you'd play this instead of like Secret of Mana or something better known. I do have this thought certainly about how people should raise their kids on video games. Like, do you, knowing that they have a limited amount of time and that a kid born today really doesn't have that extra 30 years to play all the games that came out from 30 years ago. Also, we never actually had time to play all the games that came out from in the past 30 years or so, which, man, honestly, they came out in the 70s, so we're talking closer to 50 years now. If you include things before the NES. at a certain point, you have to curate that content, and not just for video games, also TV shows. So I don't know if it's really a smart move to have kids watch the bad TV shows when you could say, hey, how about you go watch this Pokemon cartoon? Like, I love that as a kid. Instead of watching, say, Paw Patrol, where the kids may love that, but it may not be that good of quality. But let's see, can I think of a really bad cartoon that came out from in the past? I know there were some of them, but I'm not sure if any of them would be memorable. So in the same way with video games, maybe you shouldn't have them play the new RPG that you know might be bad when they could be playing something that would be more in the cultural zeitgeist and people of their age would be talking about it. I certainly remember when I was in school talking with my friends about the same games, and you certainly couldn't have that conversation if half the school is playing, if everybody's playing PUBG in your high school and you're playing Myst, for example. Nobody's going to be that interested in hearing you talk about Myst after the first conversation or so. And for kids, more than anything, it's probably better to socialize them and have them just play whatever their friends are playing, whether it's good quality or not, instead of trying to have them become video game snobs and irritate all their friends with. Let's see. Next game I have on that came out March 8th is a game called Super Binbo Quest Turbo Deluxe. Let's see, is this game worth talking about? Not really. It's got that 8-bit pixel style. It's rated 90% of 33 users as positive. If you like 8-bit pixel style platforming action adventure games, this would probably be another one of those, but I don't see anything special here. People yelling at me on the game. Now it looks like I'm about to win. Let's see, the 3 negative reviews. One of the negative reviews on this game is dangerously close to being straight up bad rather than funny bad. Like, it's funny right up until you die a lot because of the extremely unpolished handling and basic mechanics, and then it swiftly becomes annoying. The air physics are incredibly sluggish. This game is poop, I guess, and needs a lot of work. There's a lot of heart signs here that are censoring themselves. So this game seems like it's selling itself as a bad old game, and I don't think I would ever want to buy a game that's selling itself because it's a bad old game. Here you go, victory. Nice. Next game I have is Wild Glory. Came out March 8th. 100% of the 13 user reviews are positive. This is a game I already talked about. And I think I'm gonna wishlist this one now. Giving it a second look, was there a reason? Oh, the reason why I didn't wishlist it is it only has local multiplayer and local co-op, so I just couldn't play it. Wild Glory does look like an interesting kind of fighting in an arena, Coliseum style battling, quick-paced game. Just need, I think, one more victory if we got a quick disconnect, that'd be really nice since we haven't even gotten to the American account. My icons have come back on my news. Chuckle. There's a giant bomb. Quick look. I only needed to watch like the first 5 minutes of it, and I would recommend that's kind of all you need to see is the first 5 minutes solving the first puzzle, and then you've got the idea of what the game is. It's almost like a early learning cartoon of a game in a point and click adventure, but it seems to be interesting and weird enough that it caught my attention, even if it is going to probably be rather simple. In fact, the solution to the first puzzle is actually in the second, first trailer on Steam. Yeah, this is definitely something I want to play eventually. That Amanita, Amanita, is the name of the publisher, and they give random made-up names for search engine optimization reasons to all their games. They made things like Botanicula, and Machinarium, and Samaroost. Just totally made up names. Chuckle actually is the best one, I would say, of the names, because it actually seems appropriate, but it might be actually Chuchel. It's spelled Chuchel, so that may not be actually pronounced Chuckle. Let's see. And then there's a game called Cat's Bar that looks like a mess of mixed pre-made assets, if I was to guess. Like, I don't know if this is a game where you play it's a game kind of adventure, I think is what it's describing itself, where you run a bar, but there's a lot of screenshots of the cat not being in the bar and instead wandering around a city area. Every screenshot is in what looks like Japanese. Like, let's see, and the publisher and developer is in Japanese. And there's another game called A Day for Kittens, so he seems to be going on a theme here. And honestly, it looks like it's just more of the same, if not the exact same assets. Yeah, it is. It's pretty much the exact same assets for both games. And it's not even a game that I would say is an asset flip for sure. It's just a game that feels like it's not really well polished. So I'm going to not continue under the game Cat's Bars with any interest. PC Gamer has an article. Sci-fi action RPG Dolmen, D-O-L-M-E-N, rolls out of Kickstarter next month. This is another one of those articles talking about something that's coming out of Kickstarter in a month. So there will be no announced time, there will be no pricing, there will be no actual news to report at all in this article, almost certainly. The trailer here for this game does look interesting. It it looks like a first-person shooter style RPG, like almost like a Dead Space type game, with aliens and the character you're playing in is in a space suit. There's some kind of robotic-looking alien type people. A lot of sword swinging. The main character has 2 swords instead. But now he's about to get shot with guns. Hmm. So this trailer looks good. The question is, will it actually be good? Let's see. This Brazilian developer, Massive Work Studio, is being supported by the Square Enix Collective, which plans to bring the game to early access in September between $20 and $30. Well, at the very least, I would say the good news is that this Kickstarter game is actually being supported by Square Enix, so it probably will come out, probably will be something. The question is the something that it is going to be just microtransaction heavy craziness, or is it going to be an actual game that's actually good, which is the low bar that video games are now being held to. So like I said before, talking about a Kickstarter game before it's out, before it has a real price, before it has a release date, there's no news there, there's no facts. ModDB has relaunched a fully restored version of the video game file distribution hub Gamefront almost 2 years after the site closed down. The much loved database folded not for the first time back in April 2016, according to Game of Sutra. I've never heard of Gamefront. I have heard of ModDB. So the point there, I guess, is that if you had mods you loved, or if you had published mods to Gamefront, now you could go to ModDB and now my experience with ModDB is almost solely with, that's the place where you would go to get Steam and like Fallout and Elder Scrolls Skyrim mods. I'm sure there's plenty of other mods out there, but on the site, but that's the only one I know about. So that'll be really good news to the people who remember and use Gamefront, and doesn't really mean that much to anybody else. The studio from that made Goat Simulator has revealed a new project called Satisfactory. Coffee Stain Studio says they're actually trying to make a good game this time, which that'll be a nice thing to do. Like, you can only really go so far by making a joke game like Goat Simulator that actually only succeeded because it was in the right place at the right time, during the rise of Twitch streamers and YouTube streamers playing goofy games. And Goat Simulator very possibly was the first and last game that's gonna massively succeed because of that. I think we gotta do this, and then I think we gotta do this, and then do this. this trailer for this game, Satisfactory, is just this dinosaur-like creature trying to pull a leaf slash fruit off a tree and then eating it. And that's kind of it. So yeah, other than that trailer, it seems like Coffee Stain Studios doesn't even have anything to say about what the next game is going to be about, or what it is, what's happening. So no comment really. You announced your game and then you gave no facts, so you really didn't announce your game, did you? Now it's important that I do this next. And I've just lost. Well, maybe not. Tencent is investing in the Chinese game streaming services Douyu, D-O-U-Y-U, and Huya, H-U-Y-A, which I don't know how you could really make an argument that Tencent isn't basically a state-run company that is getting a lot of money to invest into a lot of other companies and gain influence and control over it, both inside and outside of China. Like, every time I see something about Tencent, that's all I think about. And maybe that's partially just their own fault for not having any kind of love in the Western world. If Tencent had made a game like BioShock, if it had made Half-Life as a series, you wouldn't have that same feeling. Like, every time Valve does something to get more games on Steam, I don't think, wow, Valve is just trying to become this monopoly and control and influence how games are made. When, in all fairness, they kind of are, as much as Tencent is. Like, Valve has certain limits. As far as what you can do, there's a new honey pop type game that came out just this week that has a nudity patch. It's called something Liquor. It's actually alright from what I hear, but nothing especially great. But Valve has said you can't directly link from your description or your forums to that nude patch, which means a lot of people who buy that game are not going to be able to get that adult patch, which I'm fine enough, but it might hurt its sales. And it certainly is an example of Valve censoring, you might say, or curating its content. And Valve has never been really the most extreme curator, so I'm not super upset about it curating its content in any way until it gets too extreme about it. Let's see, we already talked about that. Rock Paper Shotgun has an article. Super Daryl Deluxe makes a case for rock opera themes. Let's see, what is this game? Super Daryl Deluxe debut title and the RPG Vania platformer from Dan and Gary Games goes all in with its release date trailer. And doesn't look half bad. Let's watch this trailer. Then if they say it doesn't look half bad. This feels again like an advertisement more than a report. Imagine if you watched the news every night and they were talking about how Coca-Cola was going to come out with a new brand of Coke, or how McDonald's was going to have a new burger, or how Wendy's was going to have a new burger, and just like half of your news every night on your local news was people advertising products and just talking about the release of new products. Like, would you really want to watch that news? Maybe you would. It might be better than watching local news, which is mostly a horrible crime blotter information. Like who got arrested, who committed what crime type stuff. Let's see. Well, Super Dale Deluxe is launching April 10th, and the trailer, it's hard to describe, but it looks like a fast-paced brawler RPG comedy. It's tagged story-rich indie. There's a ton of stuff here that, like, best I could describe it is if somebody was an artist and was a kid was doodling in their sketchbook and drawing the most ridiculous things you can think of. For instance, there's a picture here of riding a shark. Like, I could, yeah, that's about the best way you can describe it. It does have some sharp edges on its animation style and some pastel-esque colors with a dark gray background. But I've already been following this game. I think I can now move it from follow to wishlist. I don't even remember covering this game. Man, games certainly come and go when you're looking at all of them. And I'm not sure how much more news we really have, which is fine. Next story we have from PC Gamer. Gorgeous platformer Planet Alpha partners with Team 17. 5 years in the making, the side scroller is due out later this year. I suppose I should reward this Planet Alpha for not advertising itself too much, because it came out, it was announced in 2013 and we're 5 years later. It was a side project of IO Interactive employees Adrian Laser. Well, one employee named Adrian Laser. So one guy for 5 years was making this game, and now it's hit a point. The thing that makes this intriguing is this looks really, really good. Great animation style. Oddly, it kind of looks like what a Sonic game should look like. And in many ways, it could also be a homage to something like Oddworld games. I could see some Oddworld in that, which would be nice considering how I couldn't really play any of the Oddworld games. I don't know how, but I ended up with Oddworld New and Tasty, which was the remake of the original Oddworld game, I think, and I don't think I will ever bother. I'll cover it at some point, probably, but I'm not sure. I'm not super interested in playing the remake of a game when I have like 5 games in that series and none of them play in any fashion that I like. This Planet Alpha though is just showing the character jump around. It's due out some point in 2018. and it does have a Steam website, but a Steam site. It's going to be published by Team 17, the publishers of the Worms series, which they're expanding into being more publishers. But it's being developed by Planet Alpha APS, and it's expected, according to Steam, in Q3 of 2018. Let's see. I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. I'm about to die. Another death. This isn't video game related, but apparently one of the guys who has one of the viral slingshot channels, Jorg Sprav, wants to show Google that YouTubers matter, and so he's trying to form a union of sorts to negotiate better working conditions, which certainly we could use as a YouTuber, as better working conditions. The other thing specifically is his slingshot channel, I believe at some point was taken down for some reason. It's an interesting idea, but the problem here is I don't know if I really I don't know if he's the person to do it. There was a lawsuit against YouTube for them changing their partner program roles, effectively kicking people out of the partner program, but the lawsuit got thrown out. I don't think they were making the right argument to continue, so somebody needs to make the argument, I think, is that while the partner program says that the YouTube can unilaterally demonetize people, I think they're in violation of general business rules that are required in California where they're based, because they're effectively kicking you out of the entire contract unilaterally, which they do not have the ability to terminate. And they're trying to they're claiming that you're still a YouTube partner, but you're not really a YouTube partner, because the only thing that was important on being a YouTube partner, it was being able to monetize. Once you take away the ability to monetize for thousands, if not millions of YouTubers, they're not really in that contract at all. And there's definitely some other arguments that could be made. Travis came on, said, "Hey, Rydo." Travis, you were the one that I set up the trade right with on Steam for the coupon for one gym, because I wanted to see if that actually worked for you, or if you just ended up getting a coupon that was already expired, before I tried to do more of that or encourage people to ask me to trade if they want coupons. Ubisoft has an online programmer for Rainbow Six job. I'm not going to read it completely though. I think job listings now I'm going to try and not go too in detail with them, even though in this instance I really have no reason not to be reading the job listings, because there's just so much like so much stuff to talk about here, as I'm still working on the freaking European account. We're gonna just go into post-show pretty soon. There's a game called Dead Step that's came out March 9th. It's rated mostly positive, 75% of 16 users. Let's see what this game is. It's a action indie adventure horror hidden object game. The trailer is showing you collect candles and put them on a alchemical circle, witchcraft circle. Looks more like alchemy to me than witchcraft, because it's not a pentagram. You seem to be... It might be a hidden object in a 3D environment, which I always am interested to see if somebody could really make a hidden object game in a 3D environment and make it good. And there's this making it a horror setting where you're walking around a house looking for candles is taking a lot of what the Gone Home element felt like and actually embracing that, where Gone Home felt scary but really wasn't. So let's come over here and look at the negative reviews, if there are any. There's 4 negative reviews. Let's see what they have to say about this game. None of them are in English. So, yeah, negative reviews pointless when they're not in English to me. Travis says, yeah, really, I don't really use Steam trading much though, lol. Yeah, I was just trying to see if you were actually going to get the coupon in time to use it, or if they were going to put a long wait time on it, because I just got the gym like 3 or 4 days ago. It was being held, and the last thing I would want to do is start saying, hey people, if you want this coupons on in my inventory, you can have them, because I'm not going to use them. Like right now in particular, I'm definitely not spending extra money on games, but I don't want to encourage or suggest something that is not actually feasible. And it doesn't matter to me if it takes 2 weeks or so for me to get the one gym or whatever. The things, if people want to trade with me, that like things I'd be more interested in is getting training cards or trading cards, so that we can all get up in levels, so we can all have more friends. It's hard for me to ask people to friend me when I know at level 1, which a lot of people are at level 1 for Steam, you can only have like 5 or 6 friends on your friend list. Yeah, I'm gonna wishlist this game. This game, Dead Step. It's not early access. It is $5, and I think I'd probably pay a lot less than $5 for a game like this, because it is a sort of improvement on the Slender games. It looks nicer than that, but it's just that same idea of wandering around somewhere looking for something. But I may have the Slender games actually. And so now I'm back to the Humble Bundles. The Brawler bundle has 15 hours and 16 minutes to go. The Brawler bundle is still very good deal if you want Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, and Skullgirls for $1. Pay more than the average of $5.46 to get Street Fighter X Tekken and Arcane Heart 3 Love Max, which are 2 pretty extremely different types of games for fighter games. And if you pay $9 or more, you get Guilty Gear XRD Sign and Rivals of Aether. do we have a new bundle since then? Let's see. This. I need to play one more Death Rattle to upgrade. Kill that guy. Attack and attack. Come on, bundles. How you trying to get the website to work? There's, let's see, are there any other game bundles right now on the Humble Bundle store? No other game bundles at all. Everything else is expired, or it's book bundles, things that don't particularly interest me. Here, we'll go over to Twitch and see if anything has changed there. Let's see. We are about 10 days away from it being 60 days since I uploaded my first 2 videos onto my Twitch account. And I think at the 90-day mark, I'm going to spend some extra effort to then upload everything from my YouTube channel to my Twitch account. Battle Cry. Death Rattle. Now I can destroy 3 random enemy minions if I had 3 random enemy minions to destroy. But I don't. Instead I have victory to take. So let's see what's happened. There's one. And I would need 2 more victories with the Druid or Rogue. Or I can... Well, I really should. And now that we know that the April date is when the new expansion is, I really should get these victories with Druid and Rogue. Like, I really shouldn't cheat it. So, we'll stick with the Rogue. If I got the 40 gold daily quest instead, I wouldn't be able to really trade the 60 gold quest tomorrow. The first 2 episodes of Orwell Ignorance is Strength are out now. That doesn't really mean much to me because I don't think you even want to look at a review or play a game until it's completely done. Ken Levine, the maker of one of the guys who worked on and made BioShock, came out directly and said that he would never be ashamed for making of the violent video games he's worked on. Yeah, Ken Levine worked on BioShock. Ghost Story Games, formerly Irrational, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what he worked on. And, of course, I would 100% agree with that. Jim Sterling came out and said that the whole White House violent video game meeting was pointless and that the people shouldn't have even shown up. That argument certainly could be made, but my fear would be it would only have been worse if they hadn't. Like, in roughly the same time, there was some former employee of the Trump campaign who was saying he wasn't going to appear to a grand jury summons and he wasn't going to cooperate with an investigation, and he was totally freaking out about that, and the news was having a field day with this guy who was either drunk or having a public freak out or something. So he certainly did not succeed well or look good by saying he wasn't going to cooperate. I think you always pretend like you're going to cooperate even if you're not. Interesting. PC Gamer has an article here. Hearthstone, the Witchwood expansion will have a dungeon run style monster hunt mode. That is interesting. More dungeon run stuff. That would be great, but the problem is I really haven't even finished the old dungeon run stuff. With the way daily quest and now ranked play have taken up more and more time away from me, I haven't even on my main account been able to do a dungeon run successfully with all the characters, and that kind of sucks. But I never really have the extra time or desire to play more Hearthstone. They've also got some pictures of some cards. Let's see if I can maybe zoom out a little bit so I can see these cards a little bit easier. There's a 7 mana legendary called Azalea's Soul Thief. 3 attack, 3 health, battlecry, replace your hand with a copy of your opponent's. You know, that legendary card would at least slightly help with the meta mage deck, where they have enough Sorcerer's Apprentices in their hand to play an infinite number of fire blasts on your enemy. Like, that doesn't fully fix the problem, but it certainly does change it slightly. Next card they've announced, I guess they did announce some cards. It's a 6 mana, 6 attack, 5 health legendary called Gin Greymane. Start of game. If your deck has only even cost cards, your starting hero power costs 1 mana. Ooh, again, a card like that in Wild in a few years will be very, very overpowered. Right now it's still kind of overpowered, but whatever. Next they have a 9 mana, 7 attack, 8 health legendary called Baku the Moon Eater. Start of game. If your deck has only odd cost cards, upgrade your hero power. So if you have both of those cards in your deck, one of them would not work. Like, I guess one is 6, so it's an even number, and one is 9, so it's an odd number too. Yeah, you can't play both of those cards and have them both succeed, but an upgraded hunter ability. It's a beast already, so you put this in every single hunter deck you would have, and you have at least a chance of upgrading your hero power depending on the deck you develop. Next there's a 3 mana, 2 attack, 4 health card called Phantom Militia, Echo, and Taunt. I'm not sure what the Echo game mechanic is. Something new, like start of game is a new game mechanic. Next they have a 4 mana, 2 attack, 5 health card called Militia Commander, which has Rush, Battlecry, gain 3 attack this turn. I don't know what Rush is, unless that's now they're changing charge to mean Rush. This Militia Commander is a warrior card. Next I have a 3 mana, 2 attack, 4 health card called Pumpkin Peasant. Lifesteal. Each turn this is in your hand, swap its attack and health. And when the full expansion cards are visible, I'll look at them all. But that's a little bit of a taste of things. Let's see if we can see in this article by PC Gamer. Might as well credit them. when they are doing good reporting on what rush may mean. Echo keyword that enables the card to be played multiple times on the same turns. And rush, which can attack minions the same turn they come into play. Similar to charge, except for it's only against minions. Okay. That's an interesting diversion. Like, that's certainly an interesting way to split things in different directions. So I guess the idea is we're gonna see fewer and fewer cards with charge and more cards with rush. Now, echo is a keyword that enables a card to be played multiple times on the same turns. Does that mean you can just, like, if you have one card in your hand, you can summon for 3 mana, you could potentially on your 9th turn summon it 3 times with one card? Seems like maybe that's what they mean. That's crazy, but it certainly does something different and something interesting. Let's see, what do we want to do? Do this so we can do this. Do this so we can do this. Do this, then this, then that, and then that, then that one, and that one, and we're done. Scrolling down my Twitter to see if there's any other new news. Well, the good news here is if I get one more victory and I'm on to my America's account, unless there was something I needed to do on the Asian account, which I don't believe is the case, I could probably cheat everything on my America's account. I also had a watch and learn on my America's account that I need to remember because I have a pack to open from that. This week is the what was it called? Texas Pinball? Or no, March 16th to March 18th. So we're not quite there yet. Next week is the Texas Pinball Festival that I believe is in Frisco, Texas. It's probably too late to go. I looked at the prices on it. It's pretty expensive. Pretty expensive to go there and play pinball for 3 days for free all day. But not crazy expensive, just a little bit more than I'd be willing to play. Let's see. Here's another game. Let's talk about that. I'm looking at new games as they came out. Also need to play Hearthstone. I'm both relieved and confused that the Twitter stream for new video games isn't just constantly flooding. Like, I would think that every 5 seconds that there's a new game being released to Steam, but it doesn't seem like that's fully the case. Somebody, I think, is slightly approving and looking at these games. this because I follow NIS America, I'm seeing a lot more coverage for SNK heroines than most people are. I can it's a little confusing certainly to see a game talked about that nobody else is actually talking about. I have to make sure I consider the sources. Apparently Fanatical is having a spring sale, if anybody's interested in that. Let's see, still scrolling down. Ooh, Morgan Webb is apparently working for Bonfire Studios. I didn't know she was working for Bonfire Studios. Well, her new Twitter thing does say Queen of Spiders, Bonfire Studios, formerly journalist, reviewer, and host, always a gamer. So she's out of the reporting business, and they're looking for a concept artist. I guess Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler really are just going to be the great grandparents of video game journalists. It's hard to say that anybody else really would deserve that title. It's possible that there are actual people who wrote articles that are deeply beloved before it was a TV media online thing, but I'm not sure if I could name anybody who was writing articles. Not like a Nintendo Power or Game Informer or something like that. There probably is some kind of reviewer in Nintendo Power that was really beloved, but I can't think of them. Let's see. Yeah, Tyranny, Dying Light, Pillars of Eternity, and a lot more are on sale at Good Old Games St. Patrick's Day sale. It's an interesting idea to have St. Patrick's Day sale. I don't think Valve is going to have much of a sale then. Right now. Let's see. Dark Rose Valkyrie coming to PC via Steam April 10th. Wow, I'm finding more news. I'm really surprised I'm finding more news since I started so late. And then 3 hours ago I started streaming, so that tells me that there really isn't going to be too much more news. Well, War Child Armistice charity has raised $261,600 for children affected by war, which is to say kind of a pathetically low amount when you look at how much Awesome Games Done Quick raises. So take that for what it is, I suppose. But I mean, they are doing a good thing, so I can't really complain that they raised too little money for a charity. And just, let's be honest here, some charities seem to get a lot more money than others, and you have to be real careful where that money really goes and how it's spent. I'm still very much of the opinion that if you want to do good, you really need to do it face to face with somebody you're dealing with, you're looking at, the hard things that nobody really wants to do. Otherwise, you're just giving money to people who could be scamming you, or you just are not going to be certain how much good it actually does. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any new articles. Otherwise, 3. Darn it. How do we want to do this? We can do this. We can do this. We can play this. We can attack here. And that. And then in the turn. Alright. So there was a game that came out March 12th today called Faria Spirit Bird. It looks, what is it labeled as? Early access adventure RPG indie. Looks like it has that blocky style of animation that I wouldn't even really call it 8-bit. I'd call it more Minecraft. Top down and 3D environments. This thing is all over the map as far as a game. I don't see any reason why anybody would be interested in this game. There are no reviews for it. Like, it looks like some elements are potentially made with RPG Maker and some elements aren't. Let's see. It's made by a company called Lightspire Studios, Lightfall Studios, Lightspire Tales. And they made another game, Faria Starfall, that is just a top-down, straight-up RPG Maker game. And that was made in September 16th, 2017. Let's see. Kill this one. Attack. I could kill this guy, but there's no real reason to. Yeah, so no love for that game. Here's a Japanese game called Alien Worms Invasion, and then just tons of Japanese text for the developer and publisher. Let's see, no reviews. Actually, it's like a RPG tower defense type game. Seems kind of like you're trying to control lines of defense against walls of aliens coming. I'm not gonna say it looks good, but it looks different at least. If this had English language support, which it doesn't, it only has simplified Chinese, so apologies, none of it's Japanese. I claim everything is Japanese. It's hard to tell the difference. Like, maybe there's something there that would catch my attention. This plus this plus this and I need to attack and attack. Go ahead and just play this. And let's just save ourselves and hope we kill the right one. No, we didn't. Darn it. Let's see. There's another game that came out March 12th called Innocent VR by a company called 9D Digital and Nuclear Studio. And looks like you're in a space shuttle at the beginning, the end of the world, epic game, disaster game. Choose between salvation and survival, it says. Yeah, I don't know how much of what it's showing me is actually gameplay or intense and innovative puzzle solving, it says. Yeah. It seems probably you're gonna stay within a building, deciding whether to blow up the world or not by pressing a button, and that's about it. English Simplified Chinese requires HTC Vive. Games like these might be interesting, but they're asking for $9 with 10% off right now, so even more expensive when it's not on sale. So yeah, I don't think Innocent VR really catches my attention. Nothing yet, and I don't think anything ever will really convince me. This will be back Wednesday. Yeah, I don't think anything's ever going to convince me to get a VR system. Let's switch over to the Americas account for a brief amount of time. Let's see. PC Gamer has a game article. Medieval is a strange and sinister fantasy FPS where you shoot armored angels with tiny planets. Let's see what this looks like in the trailer. I think I may have even seen this game. It looks very much like a Quake or Hectic ripoff. Graphics don't look that great. I'm not seeing anything particularly interesting here. Angels and armor. Interesting idea, but Bayonetta's done it so well you have to kind of do it better than that. Are we gonna get a legendary? Nope. And we looked as far as classic card packs on my main account here, and we know that unless I get an epic or higher, I'm not getting anything but dust when I get a classic card pack. So me buying 50 card packs of classic cards might very well just equal me buying 200. Well, no, what would that be? 200 dust. Here we've got a gold version of this. Should we disenchant a golden blood imp? Yeah, I guess I should. Like, I still need dust for other things. I can't honestly go down the route of thinking I need to like save up, not use my dust for things that are possible. Like, I'm at 100 dust right now. I could probably make something. Or I could save my dust, which is actually the right thing to do. Like, there's probably something around here I could just craft. A rare for 100 dust. Or there might even be a common that I am missing on my main account. I doubt it. I've probably gotten all the commons. If not, when we open the 50 card packs for the next expansion, that'll be our first thing to do, is make sure we have commons. See if maybe we could get all the rares and just reduce the number of pages of missing cards in general on Wildplay. But I'm not sure how much that's really going to help me, because I think I've got to stick with standard play even for my main account. It's too difficult to play wild. Bone Mare. This is the one that we disenchanted because of dust, and now that it's changed, I think it's actually a good move to do this. Otherwise, we just should open like Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Frozen Throne, not Knights of the Old Republic. So yeah, the reason why that's missing is because we disenchanted it, and I don't think I'd want to re-enchant it, even though it is a pretty decent card. So what else do we have here? And yeah, a medieval doesn't look like an interesting game to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that page. And where are we here? Wouldn't really want to trade either one of these, so we've got some overlap with rogue. So let's play one rogue deck. Combos, attacks, spells, I imagine. And we are at rank 20. So I doubt I'm going to make it to rank 21 by the end of the month. So let's play here. Travis says, hey, sorry, I just left work, so I have to leave for a bit. Have you seen the trailer for the new expansion? There's some cool cards coming. I didn't watch the trailer video yet. No, I started very late. And yeah, no apology needed if you're living your life and actually have a job that is way more important than watching a YouTuber live stream. You can always come back and watch videos later, or just not watch the videos at all. I've got plenty of other content that and a decent number of other viewers. So thanks for your support, of course, but don't ruin your life watching my videos. Speaking of content, I've made a new playlist, which if you go to my main YouTube channel, it will be at the top. It says episode 1's parentheses start here. I couldn't think of a better name, so if anybody's got any suggestions there, that would be helpful. It is going to be the ongoing collection of whatever episode 1 and or a spotlight, the first episode or part of a spotlight of a game, if I really don't play the full game. So that way people can now have a starting point to watch a series, see if they like it. One would hope that YouTube can then suggest episode 2. Otherwise, you're going to have to find the playlist that is specifically for that channel, that video. It's in a weird way only slightly different from the completed, the created playlist that is down at the bottom of my main YouTube channel, because that would be where you would find a playlist of every game and just start a playlist that would go through episode 1 to the final episode. The only difference, I suppose, is if you wanted to just watch episode 1s, see what you like, see what got you interested, and just wanted to play, it's there. It was something I created. Maybe I didn't think enough of it through, considering I just realized that created playlists did about the same thing anyways. But hopefully it'll be slightly helpful, and it's something I could slightly do on my channel to try and improve it. Travis said, it's always fun to visit your streams. Good way to relax. Also, were you interested in the Evil Within DLC? I think you already gave me all the Evil Within DLC. That coverage is still going. To be honest, 2 parts at least of the DLC were very frustrating because you were playing without a gun at all. So the choice and the consequence, I believe, were the name of those DLC, and I found that even more frustrating than I kind of was frustrated with the main game. It was nice to critically review it and see it for myself, because I certainly had seen a lot of other people talk about it, and my opinion, I think, was slightly different than other people's. But the third piece of DLC, I kind of liked it. From what I recall, it's been a while now. Like, yeah. I kind of liked it, but by that point, I didn't really want to play it because so much of the rest of the game really hadn't caught my attention and made me very happy with it, particularly comparing it to Resident Evil 4. Like, throughout covering all of the Evil Within 1, I definitely was wanting to play Resident Evil 4. And in fact, I actually did go play Resident Evil 5, which is the only game that runs on my PC well. Which is a slightly worse version of Resident Evil 4, and still better, in my opinion, than The Evil Within. Yeah, he goes, oh my bad, I didn't know it included the DLC. Yeah, the third bit of DLC, you play as the Vault head guy in an arcade mode, and it's an interesting thing that if it had been its own standalone game or a demo, I would have played it first and tried to get that to hype me. Travis, the Fallout 4 was the one that didn't have the DLC. If I'm gonna be really greedy here, but even if you did give me the DLC for Fallout 4, I don't know if I really have time to play Fallout 4. So I don't know if that's a good investment, unless you just absolutely want to try and force my hand, which you might be able to succeed there. As I'm scheduling other footage and as I'm thinking of other footage, there is room certainly for me to play one more game and put it in the 7 o'clock slot that doesn't exist anymore. But yeah. I'm looking at Bonfire Studios, which I guess I need to follow, and I'd like to know if they've announced any game, because like they've got a nice logo and stuff, but I don't know if they've got a game in development. Let's see. About Us. It's a nice group of people, including Morgan Webb, but yeah, I'm not sure they've announced any games. I'll be very interested in seeing if they come out with an announcement of a game, or when they come out with an announcement of a game. And if you want to be a senior concept artist in a new video game company, working for Bonfire Studios would be a great one to join, because they don't really have too much that they're trying to live up to, or any kind of history that they have to rely on. If you went to be like a concept artist at Gearbox, you'd probably be expected to draw everything to look like Borderlands. Yep, and Dark Rose Valkyrie is coming to PC via Steam April 12th, so another Valkyrie game in the Valkyrie series. I'm gonna find that and wishlist that. And I don't believe I have anything else I really need to worry about or talk about, which is good because I'm about to die. honestly, if an example, Travis, who's been a great supporter of my channel and actually donated games to me and helped me afford games. Honestly, right now, I'm more into the need of having people make suggestions on how I can play games and finish games quicker. Well, right now, my channel has always been about playing a game from beginning to end, unless I'm rage quitting or unless in some rare cases it's just going to be really boring content. But I've got so many games on my Steam account. There's plenty to play, particularly zombie games. I need to make a special month somewhere around the 3rd or 4th month every year and just call that zombie month or second Halloween month, because there's more than 2 months worth of content. I'm also making episodes that are 30 minutes long now instead of being 45 minutes or an hour long, which means series are going longer, which means eventually once I have a year or 2 of content, I might have twice as much variety every day. Instead of 3 or 4 things coming out, it might be 8 things coming out each, ideally some of those catching one group of people's attention, some of those games capturing another group of people's attention. There's a decent collection of games I know that I'm just never going to cover too. The irony, of course, of running your own business here is that everything is your own fault, and it's 100% my own fault I don't make more content. My number one problem is just staying motivated to stay in the seat and continue playing. Hearthstone certainly is ever since I started live streaming Hearthstone, that's taken a lot of time away from me too. However, live streaming Hearthstone has been by far the most successful thing I've ever done on my channel. It's gotten the most new subscribers and new viewers. There is certainly a lot of bigger pushes still trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers so we can remonetize. So I don't have to feel sleazy about Travis potentially buying every game that I'm going to play in the future. There is some weirdness also right now. Like I'm not sure if I want to make content further in the future because I'm not monetized, in the hopes that I'll have 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is kind of a tall order. Or if I just want to try and make more content now to try to get more subscribers. I don't know really what to do to get more subscribers. I really don't know what I'm doing at all. All I know is I'm trying to have fun, trying to be chill, and trying to get it done. That's going to be it for this talking portion in this recording. We don't have to do too much. I can just sort of play rogue games and see if I get victories, and it doesn't really even matter if I get the victories or not because that'll just be part of Wednesdays, and as long as I'm playing rogue class cards, it'll be about 2 games left. That's it for this recording. Stay tuned for the post show. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. If you want to support me, give me something on Steam, whether that's a game that could be as cheap as 50 cents, I think is the lowest you could buy, or you can also just, if you don't want to make the decision, at the bottom of Steam you can gift cards for the minimum of $5 up to, I think, $50. That certainly would work too. I could save up donations until Steam summer sales, the next big Steam sale. That would be an interesting thing as my channel got bigger too. If lots of people had donated money and the budget was there, and I could, instead of making a 3-hour video going through my wish list saying this is a game that it looks good, this is a game that looks good, I could just say this is a game I'm going to buy right now, this is a game I'm going to buy right now, because my fans have already supported me. So I don't have to make those videos be a begging fest and e-begging. I can say you've already shown your support. You've already given me what would be helpful. Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a good evening.